Now, it wouldn't be Christmas without a good ham, would it? Well, Daniel Lambert is getting ready for the festivities with his twist on a ham, his slow-cooked Coca-Cola ham. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Alan. So yeah, we're doing a wee twist on the classic. So it's a little bit different, but I think it'll work very, very well.
Okay, so you have your basic ham here.
So we've got our basic ham. Now I'm using actually a smoked ham fillet. I prefer smoked ham. I think it's full of flavour. It's really, really good. But yeah, so first thing I've done is I've actually scored the ham, okay? So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a quick brine for it. Okay, so before, you know...
A quick what?
A brine.
What's a brine?
So a brine is anything you soak a piece of meat in.
Oh.
What happens is it basically takes all the salt out of it and it'll flavour it whatever you have in the water.
So this is what people should do when they're doing their ham?
Oh, definitely. Well, I'd recommend it anyways.
Okay.
There's loads of different ways you can do it. But yeah, so the first thing I have is I've got a pot of water on here, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to toast off my spices first. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a bit of star anise. Okay, 2 or 3 of them there. And some cinnamon. A couple of bay leaves. And some cloves. And you can see I've got some mixed peppercorns here as well, just for that kind of extra kind of Christmas spirit. And you'll see it start to smoke.
Starting to smoke.
That's exactly what you want.
I was going to say, is that on? And then I saw it smoking and I said, we got the fire alarms ready.
So yeah, you should always toast your spices, okay? So you can see they're nice and fragrant, so that's going to go into the water there. And the reason we toast them is because it adds an extra bit of depth of flavour into whatever liquid you're putting it into.
Okay.
Okay, so what you do is you bring this up to the boil, okay, just for about a minute.
And could you use, like, not many people have them at home, so is there other stuff that you could put in that you might have at home?
Yeah, so, I mean, rosemary and thyme actually goes in here as well, sorry. So yeah, that goes up to the boil for about a minute and you kill the heat and then cool it down. So yeah, if anybody doesn't have any of that sort of spices, I would definitely recommend just using some black peppercorns.
All right, yeah.
And a bit of sugar.
Bit of sugar?
Yeah, I would leave the salt out because ham is very salty.
Yeah, obviously,
naturally,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what you do. Bring it up to the boil, but make sure it's cool before the ham goes in, because otherwise you'll end up cooking the ham and shocking it, and you don't want to do that.
So you boil it, let it go cold again, or cool,
yeah.
And then you put the ham in?
Put the ham in for about 24 hours, so just the day before.
The day before you want to cook it? Okay.
Very simple. So, I'm going to leave that aside now. Now, so yeah, we're actually going to slow cook it today.
All right.
So the ham I have up there is actually, it's slow cooked for about 7 to 8 hours, and it makes the meat really, really, really tender. So the first thing we're going to do is, again, okay, in with some cinnamon into the pan, some star anise again, a few cloves, and some mixed peppercorns. Okay, and I'm going to get these nice and toasted. And again, once it starts to smoke, we're going to add in some lovely Coke here. So this adds a really nice bit of sweetness to the ham. And we're going to make a quick glaze for when it goes into the slow cooker.
Okay.
All right, so once that starts to get a nice... You can smell the fragrances coming off that now already.
You can smell it. It's amazing.
The Christmas time, you know. So in with the Coke, okay. We're going to reduce this just ever so slightly. So yeah. This is when people start to get a bit,
it's a nice hot pan you need.
Oh, it is, yeah, definitely, yeah. You need a really nice hot pan. So you can see we're going to cook all the carbonated soda out of that, all right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in a small bit of honey. Ooh, that smells absolutely divine.
Smells divine.
So, yeah.
And that's all the amount of Coke you need?
Yeah. Well, for this, you know, for 1.5 kg ham, yeah.
How many people would that feed? Is that for about 4 people?
Yeah, that would feed about...
4 to 6?
I'd eat that myself.
Well, in general, how many would it be?
I would
4
say,
people?
I would say about 3 to 4 people.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah. So yeah, onto a nice high heat. I'm going to add in some whole grain mustard here. Okay, so this is pretty much like your classic glaze, you know. So a good bit in there. We're just going to give that a quick whisk. And you'll see it start to get really, really, really sticky now.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you notice that I've scored the ham, okay? Put that on a nice reduce there. So I've scored the ham, so basically the fat around the ham, you need it, like, you know. Without that, there's no flavour going into the ham. So basically it acts as an insulator, and it also acts as a baster as well. So when the fat melts, when it's in the oven, it keeps the ham nice and moist, you know. So that's how you get a really nice, juicy ham. So yeah, that's our glaze.
How do you know when this is ready? Is it just what you've done there? That's basically it.
That's basically it, because remember, this is going into a slow cooker for 7 hours.
Oh yeah.
7 hours. So yeah, the temperature on the slow cooker, every slow cooker is different. I would always put it on high first, and once it starts to steam and slightly bubble at the bottom, switch it down to low for the final 3 hours.
And if you don't have a slow cooker but you'd like to try this, what would you do?
So yeah, that's actually why I didn't actually bring the base in. So this is actually a crock pot without the slow cooker. So whatever crock pot you have at home, basically you just put the lid on into the oven at 125, for 5 hours, take it back out, and then baste it, and then back into the oven for another 3 hours at 135.
Okay, so this, what you've made there now, it goes over the ham, does it?
Yeah, so this goes over the ham. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stud the ham with some more cloves. So basically, I've scored it there, okay?
Yeah.
And just where the lines meet, you're just going to put in your cloves, okay?
I hate cloves in ham.
Well, I love them.
I know, but I'm just... does it not take... Like, sometimes all you can taste is the cloves in the ham.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... I suppose it's a personal preference, really. I would definitely say that they are very strong.
Yeah.
Cloves are very strong. And sometimes, if you actually put too much cloves on, what'll happen is it'll actually numb your tongue.
Is that what it is? That maybe
That's
I've
what it
tasted
is.
when there's too much cloves in it.
Too much cloves, yeah. But, well, actually, I like to take them off the ham just before I serve them.
All right,
I
yeah.
think maybe you were probably
I probably still had a bit of cloves, in the ham. Yeah, probably right.
It's not very pleasant, but yeah. So we're gonna put the smoked ham into the slow cooker. Okay. I'm gonna add in some rosemary and a small bit of thyme. All right, and I'm gonna pour the glaze.
Just the glaze just pours over that.
Glaze just pours over that like that.
Oh wow, look at that.
All right.
Lovely.
So yeah. And that's pretty much it. So it's very, very simple, right? The lid goes on, and you'll cook that now for 7 hours on about low to high heat.
And then it comes out looking like this. Like, that looks like it's been roasted in the oven.
Yeah, so once it's been slow cooked for 7 hours, you put it into the oven then.
Oh, you do put it into the oven,
yeah. And then what happens is it comes out
you've got
like this.
one in there.
Yeah, I've got one in there, it's ready. And you can see how sticky it gets.
Okay, so so you do it for that amount of time in the pot. How long does it go in the oven for then?
Oh, 20 minutes, about 20 minutes at about 160, just to get that final crisp. And you can see how watery the glaze was when it went in.
Yeah.
This is how it comes out, nice and sticky.
And then you're going to put some more over it?
Yeah, and you just reglaze it like that. And you can see there, it lifts the whole dish. It turns it into something really, really special.
Say, it is, I'm going to have some here. It is delicious. And see, I can't taste any of the cloves of that, but the whole thing has a beautiful taste.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when you're scoring the ham, the cloves go into it, and then you take the cloves back out just before you serve it. So you're just getting that kind of slight kind of, taste off it.
Daniel, thank you very much. We'll be making that for Christmas. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy.